Welcome to Parchment Update, an interview series from the Parchment Community Library to bring your community closer to you. I'm Karen Woodworth, Library Ambassador. I'm joined today by Kalamazoo Curling Club President Arlene Carter. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to do this interview.
Well, me too, because the Kalamazoo Curling Club is in the due diligence stage of moving to Parchment, and that is such an exciting development for the former mill property. Let's start by talking a little bit about the game of curling. Please give us a brief summary for those of us who may not be familiar with it.
Yes, so curling is a lovely winter sport that creeps up into our conscious awareness every 4 years with the Olympics. This is an Olympic year, so it is a game that is played with four people on a team, two teams on a sheet. The sheet is the measurement by which we are throwing rocks. We use the term throwing rocks at houses. Um, those rocks come from Scotland. They have two kinds of granite in them, and they weigh 42 pounds each. And the rocks are thrown with a in-turn or an out-turn slight delivery, meaning a slight turn of the wrist. And the rocks actually glide on little bubbles that are hand laid on top of ice. And it's all done by hand. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour before every curling match to re-pebble and scrape and get the ice ready for that game. And then we will play anywhere from 6 to 10 ends. And at the end of that, there's a winner and there's a loser. But in curling, there is no losers because the losers get their drinks paid for by the winners. So that's basically the game. Those four positions are everybody throws, everybody sweeps, and it's been in the Olympics since 1990. Does that help?
That does, yeah, yeah,
And then
thank
one
you.
other aspect that I think is interesting about curling, there is mixed curling, meaning men's and women together. There is mixed double curling, which is a whole different game, much more aggressive. And that is usually one man, one woman. And we have obviously all men's teams and all women's teams. We also have kids curling. We started kids curling about 4 years ago, and it just exploded. And you may think, how can a little kid throw a 42-pound rock? Well, again, it comes down to that ice. That ice is so specialized and so unique. It really is a great lesson in physics, and we're excited to bring this sport to Parchment.
Well, tell us a little bit more about the ice. I've heard the phrase designated curling ice, and the idea of the pebbling is fascinating. Tell us a little bit about exactly what kind of ice you use.
Absolutely. We use specialized water. This is a game of millimeters. So we need very crystal clear water to be able to see the most minute points of measurement. We actually measure with lasers sometimes when it comes down to that. And the process is the curling ice is kept extremely cold and very little humidity in the room. We use deionized and reverse osmosis water, again, to get that crystal clear ice to be able to see our houses or that bullseye that you see at the end of the sheet. Um, how do we get those pebbles on there? We literally wear a backpack on our back with different temperature water and different size nozzles. And those bubbles are hand laid on top of the flat ice. And we'll do that. It is a timed process up and a timed process back. We'll do that with sometimes two or three different size pebble. We let that freeze. Then we take a device called a nipper and we shave off the very, very top of those little bubbles on the ice. and it's only an eighth of an inch diameter on the bottom of a curling rock that glides on all of those bubbles. So it's not um, it's not hard to curl, and everybody, without exception, can curl. We have as young as 6 and as old as 86 in our club. Not everybody curls well, but we all can curl. And I think that that's the part about us coming to Parchment that I am so excited about, because we are a sport that is open to everyone, every gender, every age, every ability. If you can't bend down in the hack and deliver the rock like you see on the Olympics, no worries. We have plenty of other ways to help you deliver a rock, and you can be part of a team side by side with your family member, whether they be able bodied, disabled, doesn't matter. Everybody can curl together. Um, my partner in crime has just arrived. I would like to introduce the vice president of the Kalamazoo Curling Club, Kris Rieck.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Work.
Yes, our organization is 100% volunteer. So when we talk about doing all this stuff to the ice, it's all volunteer work. It takes approximately 100 hours just to get our ice ready to curl on the first time. And we all have jobs outside of our curling life. So thank you for your flexibility.
Yes, thank
I
you.
really wanted you to meet Kris, because we'll probably be the faces you see in the community
A
a
lot.
lot.
All right. Well, welcome, Kris.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So that's a fascinating look at the ice, and it's good to hear that people of all ages and abilities can do curling, because a lot of times when we think about sports, we just think about watching them and forget about the sheer fun of being involved in it. And in other conversations, you've mentioned adaptive curling, and I'm thinking now would be a good time to find out a little bit more about what adaptive curling is.
So adaptive curling in and of itself is just the people who would curl differently, but people who have limitations, whether they be in a wheelchair. Typically, that's how adaptive is worded in curling, but there are people who need to use a stick because they can't get down in the hacks anymore. And that's not quite called stick adaptive, but I mean,
But it
it's
is
someone
adaptive.
it's someone with a limitation.
Mhm.
Now they've taken it. Adaptive curling would be someone who would be limited by mobility to a wheelchair. They have a slightly different delivery system because they just have a stick that someone helps them and they deliver the stick down the ice. Now they're not sweeping just because of the inability of their to manage as wheelchair and sweep. And that's usually a conversation usually at the beginning of the game. Like, hey, we have actually a curler from Traverse City who comes down and curls at our club a lot. And when he curls, you just say, hey, Jeff's not sweeping. He's going to be in the house. And everybody's like, okay, great, great, great. You kind of figure out who's going to do what job. But with it, an adaptive curler can curl with able body. I mean, you can have, and Jeff curls on a team with 3 other able bodied people. Or you could have a whole team of adaptive curlers that participate against someone who's all able bodied. You just have the conversation beforehand, how we're going to have the logistics work. My hope was very much to start introducing it more to our community this year, because I feel that there shouldn't be limitations of who can have fun
Right.
and who can participate in community.
It's an equalizing sport.
Yeah, it really is. And after we play a game, at the end of the game it's called brooms stacking, and the winner usually buys the losing team a beverage, and then you sit around the table and you talk maybe about the game, or you just get to know the other team people, or maybe some of your teammates better. It's just an opportunity to kind of hang out and create community and fellowship, which I think everybody kind of needs somebody or some place to belong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda
that's for sure. Yeah,
Um,
well, that all sounds great, and so I want to talk a little bit about what attracted you to Parchment, and are you planning to build a new building or to renovate one?
Oh, I wish we could renovate a building, but no, we're building from the ground up. We are going to be located on the brownfield site, but not on the actual mill site. We're more on that easement kind of the parking lot, essentially. So we will be building from the ground up. We are, like you mentioned, we are still in our due diligence phase. And we've had nothing but great experience with the city of Parchment. They've been very easy to work with, and you know, that's gone incredibly well. How did we pick Parchment? We were told about 3 years ago that the long-term prognosis
Yeah.
of Wings Event Center was going away. And what we have found out is that several of the other ice user groups did not have those conversations. So in that sense, being the low man on the totem pole was a good thing. So 2 years ago, we found out 3 years ago, 2 years ago, we formed a building committee. And over the past 2 years, that building committee has been seeking everywhere. We have looked all over Kalamazoo. And it was Jerry Brunel who came across the mill site and called me and said, "Hey, let's go walk this property. I think it could be interesting." And that's how things got started.
Sounds good. Well,
Yeah.
so what is your current estimated timeline for the project? I do know these things can change, but best guess.
They can. Well, assuming we get through the due diligence and everything's great, we will then have to commit to an architect. I mean, we are at the very beginning stages of this. While we do have money in our coffers, we don't have 3.5 million. So it is going to be a real concerted effort to fundraise to get that building up. Would we like to get it up sooner than later? Absolutely. And that is one of the reasons that we joined in the feasibility study. The feasibility study is going to show the community of Kalamazoo, of Greater Kalamazoo, what the actual need for ice pad is in our community. And there may be some funds that are eligible to us as a result of going through the feasibility study. So everything is plugging along, but I would envision this as a 2 to 3 year process. I hope it's less.
Yeah, we would love less.
We would love less. We would like to be curling tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
yesterday.
Wait, we are going to curl tomorrow.
We are curling tomorrow.
In Fort
Right
Wayne.
now, we are having to drive to Fort Wayne, Indiana to curl.
Yeah.
So we don't
Oh.
want to take our money to Fort Wayne. We want to keep it in Parchment and home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long ways away to go. Well, so tell us a little bit more about the new facility. How do you envision it being used?
Well, there should be curling 6 months a year,
Mhm.
and we're going to have a lot of curling. How many leagues did we have set up?
We had 7 set up for this season.
Which equates 6 nights a week of curling.
Yeah. Because on Sundays we had our kids in the morning, and they were like littles. They're like 6 to 10-ish. And then we had the little bit older kids, high school, junior high kids that would practice. And then we had a league in the afternoon and a league in the evening.
And those leagues, there's beginner leagues,
yeah.
advanced leagues. Hopefully, I would love
Mixed double
leagues. So Parchment is going to get the full introduction to the game of curling.
Yeah.
The facility, like we talked about, is going to be fully accessible. It is our desire that it is completely ADA compliant, and all peoples are able to use that building in its entirety.
Or come watch.
Come watch. Just come in, and there will be a seating area. We plan on having a bar.
Yep.
And we hope that you'll come in and have a beverage and get to know us and learn a little bit about our sport.
Yeah.
Now, the other 6 months of the year, that's the big question mark. We're not sure what we're going to do with the building that other 6 months of the year. being that there is such an ice crisis, we're really hoping that maybe figure skating will partner along with us,
Yep, that would be great.
or court sports or something, but there's no reason that that building could not be used year round.
Okay, well, that sounds great. So you mentioned you are raising money for this project. I'm sure you have other expenses too. How can people get involved in helping this become a reality?
Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that question. Well, we're going to have, again, because we're not curling, it is very
Makes it
difficult.
More challenging.
More challenging. I would say to folks, please go on our website, donate
Through the website.
through the website. We are going to have several events throughout the calendar year and in the years to come.
Right.
I hope we have many events right in Parchment. We're
Yeah.
going to host our first town hall meeting on the property on the 26th of October.
Yep.
So if you'd like to see the first meeting of the Kalamazoo Curling Club in
chaos.
Parchment,
Yeah.
come out there
Yeah.
and see us with our lawn chairs and our jackets.
And we're also going to have, which we were going to have anyways, in around the Olympics, we're going to have Olympic watch parties. Wax Wings Brewing Company agreed to brew us a beer that's called
Hammered and stoned.
and we commissioned artwork, a special art label that will go on there. So we're still going to go ahead with that and have that launch party and then have watch parties. So if people wanted to know or understand curling better,
Come out and
come
get to know
out
us.
and we'll
Yeah.
explain some of the nuances or oddities of our sport that happened. We were doing that anyways. We're going to still be doing that. And then, of course, being involved in like the Scottish
Scottish
Fest,
Fest.
the Canadiana Fest. Now, because of we have a little bit more time, we'll probably be in the Christmas or St. Patrick's Day parade, and then other opportunities if we can just get people to keep talking about us.
Yeah, we don't want to
Fade away.
lose. Yeah, we don't want to fade away. And we need to. We're still a club.
Yeah.
We're still highly motivated.
Yeah.
And this has been part of the Kalamazoo culture since 2008. And it's a vital club. It's a well-run club, and we give back to the community a lot.
Yeah.
That's important to us. We support Loaves and Fishes. We support the mission. We do works for the community in addition to being part of the community.
Yeah.
So we want that homey feeling in Parchment. We want to be home. That's what we want to be home.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah. So what time is the town hall meeting on October 26th, and what is your website?
Our website is KalamazooCurlingClub.com, and our
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. And we haven't exactly procured where our foul weather option will be.
Yeah.
But we will put it on the website or the social media. We're in social media too. If you want to get a hold of us, please reach out. We are excited to get into, once we get this building built, we want to have Parchment Elementary School come in and do a PE class with us. I mean, we are looking for a long and permanent relationship in this community.
Yep. More so
That's
than
wonderful. Yeah.
more so than we've been able to have.
Yeah.
Because I think if we're in a more dedicated facility that's a little more accessible.
Yeah.
Other clubs have been very successful, which we've wanted to do. Because last year we had KPS kids come on Sundays, and we wanted to open it up to more kids.
Yeah.
Other schools, come try it, see what it's like. But it would be very easy for Parchment, like, hey, we'll have an after school for an hour or two. Come learn to curl or something like that.
Right.
Give more exposure for more people.
Right. And I also would just want the city of Parchment to understand we're going to be having bonspiels, which is what we call a tournament. We have an annual bonspiel that is called the beer spiel. And this would have been the 10th annual event. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen. But I'm excited that when we do hold our first bond
Yeah.
spiel, we can really incorporate the city of
Well,
Parchment in
right.
that.
Because we try really hard to get people to go back into the community
community.
versus us. Sometimes when you go to them, they'll like you're in house the whole time. You don't really know what the community's doing other than what you drive by. We've tried really hard to incorporate with local restaurants, local breweries to get people out to them to share some of the wealth with the community also.
Right. And we will be inviting people from all over the country and Canada, and they will be spending time in Parchment curling.
Yep.
We really think we're going to become a destination place.
That sounds like an awesome goal. Well, before we wrap up today, what final thoughts would you like to share?
I would just like everyone to have a sense of excitement for what we're
Yeah.
doing. And,
Yeah.
it takes many hands to get this done.
Yeah.
So as we are in this crunching fundraising time, I know we're going to end up putting the call out to have people come help us when we're building and
Yeah.
painting and just
Yeah.
come be part of us. You're going to love the community. We're a fun group of people.
We are.
We're a little weird.
We're a
We're
little weird. We're
curlers,
curlers.
but
Yeah.
I think we're going to fit beautifully, and I think it's going to be a real positive, bright light in this municipality.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. All
And
right.
just
Well,
know everybody can try.
yep. Everyone can try.
Well, thank you both so much for taking the time today to speak with me about this.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.